Knick of Time Show. Go check out that show. It's a great show. It's a great show.
New York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Knick of Time Show, here giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to talk about a Knicks win against a quality team. That's right. After losing to the 76ers twice, the Knicks go to Philadelphia and beat them 112-109. Josh Hart gives you 10 points, 7 assists, and 13 rebounds. OG Anunoby gives you 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Cat only gives you 10 points and 6 rebounds and fouls out. But Brunson gives you 31 and 6. Mitch robs a hell of a game with 6 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And Landry Shamet gives you 12 points with 4 rebounds on the night. After the Knicks, man, we're up 8 seconds left in the game. I mean, up 8 with 43 seconds left in the game. They almost choked away the game, cutting it to 2, but they made a couple of big plays of late and finished off the 76ers. And we're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, the missed free throws, the ugly, and everything in between. Before I do that, I'm going to introduce you to my peoples, all right? First and foremost, it is the Latin assassin, ESPN contributor, posting contributor, Bleacher Report contributor, the Escobedo. Was good, Lee?
Yo, what's good, team? Little surreal to be talking Knicks right now, where like America is burning outside. Another U.S. citizen murdered by ICE in Minnesota, about 10 minutes away from where Renee Good was murdered, and about 5 minutes away from the Minnesota Target Center. Right. So another depressing situation in Minnesota, where people are just being killed in broad daylight by people who are either supposed to protect us or serve as an arm of a government that's supposed to protect us. So just keep your loved ones safe. Make sure you buy a gun and look out for your neighbor, because things are really disturbing out there. But at least the Knicks got to win.
All right, Knicks. At least the Knicks got to win. Of course, you already know it is our ex-AAU coach, our girl, me, B, the motivator. What's good, B?
Knicks win, so I'm happy. Let's get to it.
All right. Oh, you got the branded jacket on today?
Hey.
Let me find out you got B merch. Okay. Let's get to it though. Man, Knicks, man, all game. I call this a proof of concept. Yeah. Proof of concept, proof of process. For the second game in a row, the Knicks, I felt like, for the most part, played the right way. Defensively, I felt like they played for each other. The 3-point defense has been so much better than it was in the past. I didn't really see a lot of wild closeout threes. I feel like they were pretty contested. I feel like there were multiple efforts on pick and rolls, and I also felt like the ball was moving today. Yes. And even though like the 76ers kept it close and were even winning in the first half, I kind of felt like I wasn't worried, because I felt like the 76ers were kind of hitting like some crazy shots, and B was a 3-point sniper for a half, and was like, okay, that's not going to last. And we kept Edge Coleman check, and Maxey had his points here and there, but overall, I just felt like the process was good for this team, and I think that's a big reason why we got this win. And so I want to get y'all guys' thoughts on the game, but that's my overall take when it came to this team. So I'll start off with B. What did you think of the game?
I know a lot of people have a lot to say to me because my boy did not show up today in the ways that we would like for him to. But I was just most impressed with the effort from start to finish. There were times where we should have given up, but we didn't. There were a lot of questionable calls, but I don't like to complain too much on the refs, because you can't ever leave the game in their hands. And we'll talk about it, because we shot 55% from the free throw line. Right here, that's the game where we don't even have to worry about the end of the game, where those calls didn't go our way. But I again, the slump was worrisome to me due to the effort. It's hard to lose, and then your team is not coming to show up. So the fact that I'm glad this game turned out, because we needed it. But if the game didn't swing our way, I would have been a little bit satisfied due to the effort today. Very, very proud of our guys today.
Yeah. I'm satisfied. I feel you. I understand the sentiment. I still would want that win. Yeah, but I wouldn't be as mad as I had been for the past losses, but the win is definitely needed just because of where we are in the standing and just for team morale. Just the team can be like, all right, when you play the right way, this is what happens. You win more often than not, and you need to get these wins to kind of prove it to yourself and the coach and the team. All right, Lee, what do you think of today's game, man?
Well, there was an ice storm here in Dallas, so it took my Wi-Fi out, and I missed the entire fourth quarter. But luckily, B was sending me voice notes of play-by-play updates.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that. Sis in the chat was going crazy, let me know what was happening. I was on the edge of my seat, and I couldn't even watch anything. It was just by knowing what was occurring. It would seem very stressful. A cardiac Knicks game, a classic cardiac Knicks. Overall, though, what I saw in the first half, and I think it was sustained in the second half, it made that 50-point blowout of the Nets real.
Right.
Because that team, the lack of talent compared to this Philly team, who I think is very talented, it just showed that we are great offensively when guys move off ball, which has all the things that made us so effective in our transition from Tibbs to Mike Brown that we saw in the first month and a half, 2 months of the season, came back in the game against Brooklyn and was continued tonight, which is the movement. And even say something like Deuce, right? Deuce was inconsistent. He had a bad shooting night. And Bridges as well. I'll start out with some defensive Bridges. Their movement, specifically relocating in the three-point line, allowed for open cutting lanes. It made the defense have to react and not be able to give extra attention in a hedge of recover to a guy they're guarding. That allowed for OG Anunoby to do a lot of cutting. He was elite today. He's one of the best cutters today. Allowed him, Karl-Anthony Towns in the first half, and did open seals in the paint. And Brunson had the mid-range to operate. Brunson didn't have to do the passing and the playmaking from the three-point line. He was able to do it from the mid-range today because of the spacing that the wheel offense provides when guys are relocating and cutting, right? These are like simple actions. But again, as Ian reported, guys weren't bought in. You cannot have this offense unless everyone, man, 1 through 15, is bought into we over me, because that takes sometimes a 2-point outing, but a bunch of cutting off ball and a bunch of relocating, which is a lot of cardio. But if you want the team to win, you have to do that in place of your stats.
Go ahead. You said you want to say, okay. I agree. When I was looking at the way Brunson was scoring, I was like this is refreshing. Like he's scoring off of like secondary action a lot of the times. It wasn't like bringing up the ball and then like doing the tween hezzy fade away. I felt like people were swinging the ball, driving it, finding Brunson, and he was able to attack closeouts, attack secondary action, and just attack those guys in general off of the defense already shifting. So I really like the way just the offensive flow. And you already said it too, like the seals. Like there was one play where, we're so worried about giving Karl-Anthony Towns the ball, and sometimes just giving him the ball just to give him the ball and not just giving the ball where he can be successful in spots he needs to be. Like there was a pass where he got the ball right under the basket. All you gotta do was turn and hook shot, and that's a bucket. And we got him a ball over there too as well. And OG Anunoby cutting off ball was brilliant today. When he starts going downhill with a head of steam, there's not that many people who are as big as he is that can contain him. So he had a lot of dunks at the rim, and he did the offense. The offense in general was just really bad. I'm gonna get you. The offense in general just felt good. It just felt like it was purposeful today. And also the defense, man. Like the defense, I feel like our problem with defense has been when we don't score, or certain people don't score, they start to slump. The effort is not there. But even the people who didn't score, and I'm gonna talk about Mikal Bridges, who didn't score, but I felt like his defense was really good the entire night. All right, the defense was good. I feel like his process was good. He was more. It's probably not gonna be popular takes because everybody's killing Mikal because he didn't shoot well. But yes, he did not shoot well, and the coach should have taken him out at the end of the game, which he did, but the process was better. Like he was more aggressive. He got more shots in the fourth quarter. He tried to dunk on Embiid. Even when he was missing, he kept shooting and he kept being aggressive. It just didn't turn out right for him in the box score, but that's the way you want him to play. And so to me, this was like a good process win for the Knicks.
I agree with you when it comes to Mikal, and not, again, big Mikal advocate. Yes, I saw somebody, we are looking towards divorce, but got some things to work out before we get there. Um, but again, Maxi, that was my biggest thing in the last show. We were saying what would be the biggest thing for me. It would be Maxi not scoring 30 again. 22, but it was very sporadic. It wasn't like there was a consistent flow of his game where he was killing us offensively. There was a lot of spurts where they had to rely on simply just Joel. And then when Joel cooled down, that's when we went on that run to go up by a lot, which made the game seem like it was ours at one point. So I really appreciate Mikal doing his job. That's what he came to New York for, to play defense, to stop guys like Tyrese Maxey. I don't think any of the shots were bad. They're just nights where they don't fall.
Right.
And it does suck when they don't fall and you've been playing bad. So I could see, I don't disagree with anybody trying to call him out right now. You call him out, you're shooting the ball terribly. I believe he was, let me double check here. He was 3 for 16, 1 for 9. He did hit his free throws, and there was not one. I know you noted the Joel Embiid dunk, but there was actually 2 or 3 other times he actually drove to the basket. And I don't know when's the last time we saw a game where he drove multiple times. I know the last game we saw it once or twice, but this game we saw it 3 or 4 times. So there's little things that we can't ask for, and then when it occurs, we then try to nitpick, the biggest issue. And the biggest issue, yes, the shots weren't falling, but we needed to slow down Maxey, and that we did. We win this game because Maxey didn't get to his 30 points today. Of course, we should have hit more free throws. Of course, there were a lot of other things that we'll get into, but right now we're discussing Mikal, and I liked his defensive presence. That's what we brought him here for. That's why I remind people, F those picks, and that's why I was a little bit satisfied with the fact that offensively. However, shout out to Mike Brown for, yes, at some point, your offense is killing us despite your defense, and he was killing us offensively towards the end of the game. And I appreciate Mike Brown for making that adjustment and sitting him down and taking him out the game and putting Landry Shaman in to save the day.
Yeah, shout out also the chat, man. The chat's been very consistent last couple of games, being really engaged from jump. I like the conversations that are happening in the chat, not just ones that are reacting to what we're saying, but people reacting to each other. Also, special shout out to President Boss, who's been super engaged recently as mod. So just wanted to props to the ones who are doing the work in the chat. Of course, the mod god. Concerning the Knicks and Mikal Bridges, I actually agree with what you guys are saying. I'm not going to take a position just for the sake of taking it. I'm also not going to demand someone be traded on a 1-game, 2-game, 3-game sample size. So my feelings on Mikal and Kat, it's collective over the last 2 seasons they've been with us. And I feel like we're kind of missing that bona fide number 2. And the only way we don't get that bona fide number 2 is moving off one of those 2. If I had my choice of which one, I would prefer moving off Kat, just because I think that improves our defense. And I'm defense first more than I am any type of scoring acumen that someone brings. But what I'm watching, both during our losing skid tonight when we have a close game, is that Brunson doesn't really have another guy he can depend on game in, game out. OG Anunoby is very up and down. It's just a part of his identity. This is who he's going to be for the rest of his career. He's never going to be a output of 24, 25 per game. But when he is hot, man, we're very hard to beat. But he's not a number 2 option. He's a number 3 championship option. Or super, maybe the best 4th option in NBA, right? Depending on how you see it. But we don't have a 2. And the only way we're going to get a 2 is if Kat or Bridges or both are moved. And I'm not going to advocate for that right now because we're losing, but I do think it's important context to bring to the conversation, that I don't want to seem like I'm bashing 2 guys or one guy who had a very bad whistle in Kat overall and has a very bad whistle, period. And another one in Bridges who just didn't have a great offensive night. But we've seen these 2 issues. These 2 problems are indicative of both these players in orange and blue for the entirety of their career with us and their entirety of career outside of us as well. So it is something to consider because the trade deadline's coming up and we still have moves to make. And I do like the fact that the role players are stepping up into roles that we didn't know that Landry Shamet could be this clutch for us, right? Or think about the tear that Deuce and Bry has been on this game notwithstanding. He's been unbelievable. And I like that Mike Brown didn't turn a Clarkson thinking, well, if I'm going to sit down Bridges, I need someone who's going to bring some offensive firepower. Screw that. He's at the rotation. He's got to earn his way back in, not as a fire extinguisher. And he's stuck with a small ball lineup that we hadn't really seen under him thus far. So lots of imagination. I say that because I saw Knit Nation saying that Mike Brown was horrible coaching in the 4th quarter. I did miss a 4th quarter, but the little bit I saw and what B was telling me, he made some moves that I thought saved us a game as well.
Was the 4th quarter when Mikal was in before the sub came out? I felt, or was it the 3rd quarter?
He took about the last 5 minutes of the 4th quarter.
The 4th quarter. Okay. Yeah, he took him out right. That's a fair criticism.
Shot like 3 shots in a row that were.
Yeah, that's a fair criticism.
Like, yeah.
That's a fair criticism because there's a few things that got them back in the game. One was the 4th quarter when they made big shots, and like I said, the process got us good shots, and they often led to McCall having those open shots. And when he took those shots, they didn't go in. And when they took their shots, they went in. And that's a big reason why they got back in the game. Yeah. Also, free throws were another issue. Sure. We really could have finished this game if we didn't shoot 55% from the free throw line. It would have been less of a nail biter. But that's how we decided to play it, and we need to shoot free throws better. Maybe it's because we're not used to playing all out on both sides of the ball, and we don't have the legs for the free throws. But yeah, I need to get used to that cardio and hit these clutch free throws for us, because that you can't shoot 55% from free throw line and expect to win games for sure. But so speaking of free throws, not even free throws, player of the game for me, man, Mitchell freaking Robinson. Cat had a crazy game. He had a weird whistle today. I know people might be like, oh, he fouled out. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I kind of feel like he had an offensive foul, and there's a lot of those fouls there's a lot of fouls that they gave to Joel Embiid that was just fugazi to me. It was just like, I don't understand why you give him that foul just because he fell down. But you know what? Because Karl-Anthony Towns was out the game, it was a lot of opportunity for Mitchell Robinson to play, and he freaking showed out. 2 blocks on the limp, hobbled, old, no need Joel Embiid. All right. Offensive demon. How many offensive rebounds did he have today? Did he have like 10 offensive rebounds today?
He had 6.
He had 6 offensive rebounds today. He was the highest plus minus, plus 14. He had 2 steals as well. I don't understand. We said this before. When we played the 76ers a few seasons ago in the playoffs, Mitchell Robinson is a huge reason why we won that series. We do not win that series without Mitchell Robinson, and we do not win this game without Mitchell Robinson. Yeah. Because with Cat not playing well, Mitchell Robinson was actually able to neutralize Joel Embiid defensively in that second half. There was like a big steal when Joel Embiid was looking for a foul and he was crying, and Mitch stopped him and went out and scored in the first break. That joyed my heart so much. Like, plays like that is what kind of blew the game open. So yeah, Mitchell Robinson, man, really love what you're doing, man. Great game.
Hashtag never trade Mitch.
Never. I'm glad you joined the wave, Lee. I'm glad you joined the wave.
I've been on the.
You've been very consistent.
I've been on it. Like, to me, he's a championship level player. The same way that I see Deuce, same way I see Josh Hart. But I would say even more so because there's only like maybe 2 or 3 Mitchell Robinsons in the NBA. And now that he's starting to activate a little bit more on the offensive end, you can tell that his energy, it's helping sustain him get through some of those windbreaks where he might lose his endurance a little bit. Right. He's fighting through it. And I love the defense I saw in the first half when he came in, when Cat started getting in foul trouble. You can also tell he's been watching a lot of tape. I was watching him and how he was hedging and recover on Joel Embiid. When Joel would get on the catch, Joel would spray it back out. He would rotate. He knew that Joel was going to get it. Once Joel repositioned in the block, then he would get back on Joel and give him single coverage, not have to have a double. Then he would contain him. And then Joel would either force a shot and allow Hart to reposition for the rebound, or he would guard him straight up and just shut him down completely. And I was like, bro, man, Mitchell Robinson, this is why I advocate if you have to navigate this financial stratum we're entering, Brock Hour, you got to move off Cat's salary to re-sign Deuce, to re-sign Mitch, and to ensure that Landry Shamet can return. Mitchell Robinson is absolutely a championship level player. Don't know if I can say that about Karl-Anthony Towns, but I can say it about Mitch because these matchups against the elite bigs of the NBA, he comes out and plays like a defensive player of the year. Yeah. How many guys do that? Most of them shrink, including JJJ, shrinks under pressure. Jared Allen shrinks under pressure. You don't have to face a Chet or a Joker or a Gobert or an Embiid on your way to a championship. And it's damn good to have a Mitchell Robinson who's an offensive beast, a lob threat beast, someone who can guard 2 on a string, someone who has a really high IQ who can actually switch on the perimeter because he has a lateral movement, and we can start throwing different lineups there defensively and show different coverages. Bro, man, it's a cheat code. Yeah. Pay the man, ice the man, and keep him ready for the playoffs because he always brings everything you can want and more.
I do want to make another quick note to Nick Nation, because it's easy to say bench Mikal earlier when Mikal was doing something that we needed at the time, was the defensive presence. If you bench Mikal, who are you going to bring in? Jordan Clarkson, who has been struggling defensively.
Shaman.
You bring in Shamet, and he did bring in Shamet. So that's why I'm like, I think the adjustments were made when it needed to be made. I think once he realized I cannot take any more of his offensive laps, I now have to just understand that defense doesn't matter. There's the substitution, and I think he made it at a key moment. It's easy to bash someone because during the bad time they did go on a run, but there was a lot of other things that occurred during that it's easier. His was just a little bit louder. It was just a little bit louder because he was missing so many in a row. But let's talk about the times where balls were turned over. We were missing. Josh Hart missed, I probably think, every one of his free throws today. He's 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Things like that. You have Karl-Anthony Towns fouling out, doing silly fouls, things like that. Which, again, I think there was about 3 or 4 that were very questionable. I think flat out there were 2 fouls. That was his fault. But there was 2 or 3 others that were a little bit questionable. You can't go to Yabusele during this. So there's some. That's why we gotta look to fix the bench during the trade line more than the starting lineup, because when you start to look, you take Mikal Bridges out for who? Outside of Shamet, which he did eventually in time, but at the time Shamet was subbing in for OG. Like some of these guys have to sit down and get a quick breather so that they can finish the game too. So when you're taking some guys to get a breather and then adding the people that you replace them with, it's hard to then looks outside of them. So I wasn't going to look to Jordan Clarkson, even DOR, in such a game that was much needed. It kind of felt like a playoff atmosphere, and you don't look to your rookie to then come in and then do a job that you're asking someone you pay and you gave 6 picks for. Also, people didn't realize too, Mitch plays 26 minutes today. Mitch typically doesn't even touch 20. He stays around the 18, 19 mark, and he realized he needed Mitch today, so he exceeded his minutes. So I'm not going to bash Brown too much, especially in the fourth quarter, because I think the adjustments, when they were made, they were made. We would have loved to see them sooner, but to me, I don't know who I would have put in sooner at the time.
Fair.
Yeah, it's fair. But that's fair. Also, shout out to Parrish Duggar.
My man.
Wow, super chat says, to me, nobody played bad. We won the game that was poorly officiated, that we won under impossible conditions. 3 calls on Cat were BS, and it was 7-on-5. Nah, for real, bro. Like 3 calls on Cat was BS. And you know what? It's funny because I wanted Mike Brown to challenge some calls earlier because Cat just fouls out so much. Like I just wanted Mike Brown to challenge one to be like, look, you're calling fouls on Cat out of reputation and not because you're watching the game. But I digress, because at the end of the day, we needed all the challenges at the end in the fourth quarter anyway. So I'm not even gonna be mad at it, because you already saw what happened, man. 43 seconds left. Knicks are up by 8. 2 big threes by Shamet and OG Anunoby. With 43 seconds left. You thinking this game is in the bag? Nope. It is definitely not. All of a sudden, it's like a 5-point swing. They score a quick 3. They inbound the ball to Brunson. They calls a jump ball to Brunson. And then Brunson then fouls somebody on the tip off, and they get the ball back and 2 free throws. And now all of a sudden we're down 2. We're down 2. Yeah. All of a sudden we're down. We're up 5. All of a sudden we're up 5. Then the refs try to give the game away again. When the Knicks were trying to inbound the ball, they tried to pass the ball to Brunson. VJ Edgecombe clearly fouls Brunson.
Yep.
Wraps him up. Brunson throws him off of him because he's a big dude. You know, he's short, but he's a big dude. Throws him off of him. They call an offensive foul on Brunson. Mm-hmm. But the coach challenged. And we needed that challenge. That was our last timeout, our last challenge. Big timeout, big challenge. You win the challenge, we get free throws and the ball back. Yeah. Brunson was missing free throws. It's like, oh my gosh. But we needed every single shot that we needed all that to win this game. So I'm not going to kill the coach too much.
No.
I agree, Jay. First of all, shout out Parrish Duggar. You've been supporting Jay and KOT for a long time. Love to see support continuing. Always depend on you, bro. I want to address this comment by Knit Nation. First of all, Knit Nation, you're definitely a above average hoops IQ person. You're one of the smartest fans that I've seen in the chat, and I watch you regularly on Dope Soul Sports. So you always bring high IQ. So yeah, I think your criticism of a coach is going to be a little bit more direct and informed than others, just because people like having a punching bag. I will say though, that if you look at Shamit's minutes, it's hard to say that he should have made the decision sooner when he played 29 and Bridges only played 28. I mean, he played 25 and Bridges only played 28, 29. Pretty damn even. Like to me, and closing with OG is such a out of the box move, but you know it works because you saw it work for Tibbs, and you know that OG is one of the best at fronting. He's even better in my opinion than Caruso because of his strength at fronting a big. So that's being able to know that that's an advantage you have on your bench and you go to it. I think it's really hard to criticize a coach. And I mean, we were in it and we won. So today's not the game. The skid that we went on, that 8 out of 11, definitely lots of Mike Brown blame to go along. But I would reserve blame tonight. Although, you're free to your opinion. I just wanted to address it and bring some nuance to it.
Yeah.
And let's talk about OG for a second, man, because OG's been struggling for a while from three. There's two people that you could say were the defensive players of the game today. Even though everybody really played well defensively.
Who ended up getting it?
I don't know. I'm just going off of my own brain.
Are they still doing that?
Huh?
I didn't know they were still doing that after the skid.
I mean, listen, they didn't. No one deserved. I think the Burner teams after the.
Yo, for real.
Give them Crocs. I don't know, but anyway.
Crocs. Let me see who got it.
But like my two defensive players of the game to me were one Mitchell Robinson for sure for stop blocking Embiid twice, 2 steals, highest plus minus of the game, but also was just really good in crucial minutes. But also OG Anunoby was really good. Everybody was really good defensively, but just the fact that OG Anunoby was able to kind of like battle Embiid in the fourth quarter. There was a big point lead where they tried to get Embiid the ball, and he was trying to back OG down, and then he ended up shooting like an air ball, from like 7 feet away from the basket. And then we went down on the other side of and then the ball. They gave it to OG Anunoby, and he hits a corner 3. Yeah, and that's one of the big reasons why I'm like, okay, I want to give him the defensive player of the game just for that stop, and just even having the energy left to shoot the 3 after you're guarding somebody who's 20 times bigger than you. Because I don't know about you guys, I'm 5'7", right? It takes a lot of energy to guard somebody bigger than you, and not just like tall. I'm not even talking about tall. I'm talking about don't you say B. Don't you say. I'm talking about size, like wideness and girth. Pause. Don't say it.
Hey, yo.
All right. It's really hard.
I understand.
It takes a lot out of you physically to do that. And then so to do that and then go down to the other end and still have the energy to like shoot a clean 3 is like a big deal. So that was a big play for OG Anunoby. In a great sequence. So OG Anunoby for sure, and Mitch, my defensive player of the game.
You can't talk about OG today too without that putback dunk. He was way above the rim. He jumped out the gym for that one.
He's really the only Knick you can depend on to consistently dunk the ball every single game. Mitch doesn't get the touches to dunk. If he did, he would. But OG consistently is attacking cuts, acting on drives when he catches it within the free throw line. Mm-hmm. He loves being situating himself in the dunker spot for offensive rebounds and putbacks, but also just that Josh Hart finds him so often, that little bounce pass where he goes up and dunks it. Like I like the fact that he finishes as clean and as efficiently that we want from Mikal. It's I just watched the OG tape, man. That's really all we're asking for. And tonight he had a great game and didn't depend on shooting 9 threes. He did it in the mid-range. He did it attacking the basket. He did it going to the free throw line. He might be our best free throw shooter of the starting 5 between him and Cat, or the two that I depend on the most or I trust the most. Overall, extremely efficient. He did all of that while taking turns guarding really tough coverages. If not Edgecombe, he's covering Maxey on a switch, or he's covering Embiid in the fourth. Like Kelly Oubre is not an easy cover either. Like they have a their starting 5 at least is really talented offensively. And I thought he was magnificent in every way. He's not someone who's going to be doing a lot of playmaking for others, but I do think he's having one of his best rebounding years, specifically offensively. And that says a lot that he's sharing minutes with two guys that are elite rebounders as well, in Cat and Mitch, two of the best in the NBA, and he's still getting his board. So kudos to OG, man. Tonight was a night where he earned that $45 million contract.
Yeah. Absolutely. And even the big steal at the end, man. We think we up 3. We thinking about putting the game away. The 76ers get the ball back with a few seconds left on the clock. OG hustles and gets the steal and shuts the door on them. He made some big plays tonight, like big time. That's what it is. It's not just the defensive plays, it's the timely defensive plays that he made tonight that I feel like helped us win the game. And that's why he gets played the big bucks, damn it.
I also love the adjustment. There was a point where Josh Hart was on Paul George, and I'm like, please get Josh Hart off of Paul George. Paul George began to heat up just a little bit, but then he got slowed down again because OG then was able to switch on him and get him out of his groove.
Yeah. Robert says time to give Shamet more minutes somehow. I mean, Shamet got 29 minutes. He got starter minutes.
He played a lot.
He got starter minutes
consistently.
Oh, consistently.
Which, hell,
he just got back from injury, though.
I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. Shamet sure as hell wouldn't argue with that. I think 18, 20 minutes of Shamet every night is solid minutes, on both sides.
And listen, like this is why I approve the Clarkson benching, man.
Yeah.
Because Clarkson, for all the talent he has, Shamet is a way better defender.
Yes.
Every time Shamet fights through a screen, I say a prayer. Because when he got the offense, the foul, when he tried to run through the screen and hit the floor, I was like, please, Lord, let that shoulder be okay. All right. But like his defense is better, his 3-point shot is automatic. Yeah. And he just kind of plays more within himself. And I kind of feel like that's kind of because our point of attack defense has been lacking, having him and Deuce out there at the same time is just so refreshing. Like my favorite lineups of the games are starting to be like Brunson, Deuce with Shamet and OG and Mitch.
Yep, me too.
Like those are starting to be my favorite lineups of the game.
That was the lineup who closed the game.
Yeah.
And that's the lineup that we went on a run.
Yep. And I feel like that's the same lineup that we saw in the Nets game too. Like I feel like we even saw that during the Dallas game during the loss, but we just didn't have a chance to appreciate it as much because we was getting our ass whooped.
Right.
That is a lineup, Jay, that you can play a successful zone with, or you can switch ball strings for a couple of possessions in a row if you feel like that you have defenders to match up against the other 5 across the floor. It's very diverse. And you don't lose rebounding, you don't lose passing. You can try to hide Brunson a little bit by having two point of attack defenders in both Shamet and Deuce, and then you have a backline guy who can clean everything up in Mitchell Robinson. So, hell, man, you're right. That's a playoff closing lineup if Cat is having an off game.
Exactly.
Yes, the Kings, by the way, Rob. The Kings.
Exactly. Shout out to another super chat. Hold on. And you guys, I just want to be very appreciative of the super chats this season, especially during losing streaks. Like I said, don't usually get super chats during losing streaks and losing games, but for some reason this year, y'all like, we losing, I still want to throw money. Thank you. Because like I said, I don't buy Jordans. I don't buy nothing with it. I put everything that y'all give, it goes back into the program, whether it be lights, mics, subscriptions, or whatever. So thank you for the super chat. It helps me pay off a lot of stuff. And we'll probably get some more likes, mics, backgrounds, and all that stuff. So thank you guys for supporting. All right. So Robert gives you 999. Said that's 2 wins. Who is next?
Kings Tuesday.
Oh,
we need revenge game. Yeah.
Revenge game for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Anybody else have anything to say about this game?
I'm Jaylen Brunson at 31. There was a big possession that of course, offensively, there's not much to discuss. He shot the ball pretty decent. Great from the 3-point line today. Hit big buckets when we needed them. We could have saw again. I know we've been harping on his facilitation, but he went from, there was a point where he had 0 assists throughout like 2 quarters and then ended up with 6 anyway. He was looking for guys. There was times we were swinging, making the extra pass though. That's what a lot of people do have to pay attention to, which I appreciate because we want the ball to move, and that's something we've been struggling with. So I appreciate the fact that Jalen was looking for guys. They just were making the extra pass today, so he could have possibly ended with 7, 8 assists. But we were looking for the moving the ball to get the extra guy open. But there was a play in the end. I don't know if you saw, Jay. I know Lee's internet went out. That Jaylen Brunson tipped the ball. That he wound up getting the ball back for us. Just a defensive effort. It was towards the end.
When he played the passing lane and stole the ball away from Embiid.
Yes.
From a 3-point line. Yep.
Yes, and those type of plays open my eyes because that's something that we're harp on him. Same way we harp on Mikal for missing offensive, we harp on Jaylen Brunson for his defensive lapses. But today there was a point where we really needed him and he came through. So I just wanted to give him that big shout out for that because we already know offensively he's going to show up and show out. I also thought it was pretty cool how Paul George was guarding him, and that's another guy that when you think of defense, you think of him, and he made Paul George look silly. He made everybody look silly, and that's why, again, I'm sorry, Lee. If Jaylen Brunson is gonna ball hog, hey, that's the guy I want to ball hog because it's gonna go in. But I do appreciate his a little bit of the passing and then just a much more defensive effort today on his end.
I agree. Even listen, I got my Mitch Lob counter going. Okay, I think this is game. I think this is 3 games in a row where Brunson is thrown. Was it Bridges? Was it Bridges?
Bridges hit him for a lob. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 games in a row where Mitch Rob's got a lob. We need to keep that train going. How many
points did Mitch have today, though?
He had 6 points today.
6, okay.
Yeah, he had 6 points today. So we got to keep that going. The ball movement for the team in general was just really good. Off ball movement was good. How the coach says we don't need to play faster, not just in a fast break, but in the half court. I feel like we embodied that today.
Yes.
In the half court, it was constant movement, and it manifested itself in 27 assists today. So, and I feel like we could have had more assists, but we had a stretch where we just missed a lot of open shots. But listen, as long as the process is good, that's halfway to the battle. So we have the talent. We just need to keep the process going.
And before we pass the rock to Knit Nation for more love during this win financially, I want to make one more point to Brunson. Brunson being a facilitator, it goes hand in hand with the team moving off ball. Brunson's not SGA. He's not Luka. He doesn't have the genius IQ, floor vision. He also doesn't have the size to be able to pass over guys. So in order for him to get good looks and sharp looks, efficiently passing, guys have to move as well. Yeah. And that has been a big part of what we've seen in the last 2 games is the return of people moving off ball and even off ball action happening that just keeps the defense honest on what's happening on the other side of the court. So kudos to the whole team, making Brunson's job easier to be, if not a facilitator, a hockey assist facilitator.
Absolutely. And salute again.
I did want to know. There's one thing I want to know about Towns' whistle. It's not. I think I was making a joke with you guys. Him and Joel, they kind of give me the same vibes offensively. The difference, though, guys, I think personally, is Joel actually plays defense, and I think that's why he's able to get the whistle a bit more on the offensive end.
He cries, boy. He cries.
Yeah. It's like I said today.
Joel pushes off a lot, and books a lot, but
he just gets away with a lot more. I just don't understand. And he cries. That's the other thing. He cries a lot too, but for some reason, when Crack cries, it's a different.
It might be the. That's very high pitched and beat gravelly and low pitched.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, Joel Embiid cries a lot, but refs don't treat Joel like they treat Cat. Like I don't understand it. But your salute to Knicks Nation says another 999 super chat. Says salute to the excellent panel and all love. Appreciate you,
man. One of my favorite people. And I wanted to give a shout out here to President Boss, who says outside the KOT Avengers, I like an appearance of Knit Nation on the panel. If not, call in. Yo, man, Knit Nation, come on whenever you want, bro. I know Jay would co-sign that. Smart, ball talker, knowledgeable, like played the game. Come on whenever you want, man.
Yeah, Knicks Nation is dope. Actually, he came on. I think he came on the panel. It was like one time. It was like an impromptu thing. I felt like he came on a while ago. But yeah, for sure.
Hilarious take too.
Mike Brown is a weak coach from an in-game personality perspective. There are coaches around the league that coach with their entire bodies and voice. He coaches with a Starbucks.
No, the accuracy.
With a Starbucks frat.
Kim Doc, man.
I'm dead.
Shout out Lays of KOT for sure.
For sure. All right, we growing, damn it. We growing, man. Oh, man.
Right.
Anything else you guys want to mention before I talk about some other side topic that
I think B fell into the pause matrix.
I think I did too. It's a snowstorm by me now. I think my Wi-Fi is trash today. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Yeah. Whew, yeah, you blinked hard too.
I would say listen, bro. I didn't like you saying that Clarkson should be on the bench or he might be traded, but now I'm like, damn it, my boy Jay Ellis is right. If he's traded, man. Whatever keeps this poor rotation 8 in line and efficient, I'm for it. If that means it fortifies the bench some other way, another big like Missy or a point of attack defender like Alvarado, I'm open to it now. I like Clarkson, but dude, the defense, it's awful.
We just needed more.
You can't have two Brunsons out there, and you do. He wasn't staggering them. He was playing him with Brunson so much too that it made us really awful as a perimeter defense with those two guys sharing the court. So I've changed my opinion, man. If he's gotta go, he's gotta go. Whatever helps D. Balls.
I'm just saying, like, and look, I am not opposed to him just being on the bench until an injury happens, being freaking what's the word? Situational. I'm not opposed to situational.
Sure.
I'm just saying veterans in the NBA like to play basketball. So if you start to see my minutes are dwindling and I'm getting DNPs, then you close the trade deadline, I would not be surprised if he asks for a trade. I wouldn't be.
Are you guys talking about Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he asked for a trade.
He's a chucker, man. He wants his shots. He wants his minutes.
Yeah. And that the personality, like the bucket getters.
Yeah.
I feel like the bucket getters hate sitting more than everybody other prototype basketball player that there is. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't heard anything officially. I know there was like a quote where he said that he feels like he can still contribute for this team or any team, but like which if you really look hard, maybe you can find something, but that's not really nothing to really find in that quote. But like, I wouldn't be surprised.
I saw him and Embiid talking post game. I was like, is Embiid recruiting him?
I seen that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here we go.
Trading for Kelly Oubre.
Listen, oh man, I like Kelly Oubre, but I don't like Kelly Oubre.
There was some I feel like there was something that would piss me off if he was on my team. Something I just don't know.
I just feel like I really love his defense. Like defensively, he's really good. I just feel like he's an offensive liability for like large stretches.
Agreed.
So it's like
it's
one of those things.
He's a guy though. When he's hot, he's hot. Yeah. That's where.
I guess
that's like getting Jordan Clarkson to play some defense. You stick with it, like you just.
I guess when is he hot though? Like okay, never mind. All right.
I mean, he played a hot game against us.
He's a playoff riser. He does tend to play better in the playoffs. He does the regular season, and I think he might guard Brunson. Well, he's one of the best Brunson defenders in the NBA too. I'll give him credit for that.
No, I give him credit for the defense. Yeah, I give him credit for the defense, but nothing else really. Like everything else, I don't really buy it. I just don't. But yeah, you know what too? It's funny because the 76ers fans were in the mentions we lost before, and we lost 2 games. They beat us both times after back-to-backs. First of all, and then but they were also talking about, oh yeah, you know, we're real and we're gonna be real and we're gonna be in the playoffs. And I don't care what the 76ers do in the regular seasons. I don't believe them. I will never believe them. And it's not because I don't believe in Edgecombe and Maxey. It's because at some point, when it comes to Joel Embiid, he always falters, man. Whether it be an injury or he runs out of gas in the fourth quarter. That's why I was even worried today. Like he's going off, he's all dancing and I scored 28 in the second half. I'm like, this dude has a stamina of a 65-year-old grandmother. By the time the fourth quarter comes, he's going to be gassed and there's be nothing left in the tank. And guess what happened in the fourth quarter? Disappeared like freaking LeBron James hairline. All right, didn't see that man score hardly anything in that second half. So like, I'm never gonna believe the 76ers unless Edgecombe just steps up and be like a legit number 2, which is not happening this year.
Agreed.
So yeah, y'all could be hyped all y'all want that y'all won those 2 games, but playoffs, I still don't believe 76ers. Sorry, not
Has
sorry.
Joel Embiid ever been to the Eastern Conference Finals?
No.
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else you want to add before I go on to another little side topic?
No, I believe we covered everyone. I'm just with Karl Towns. I'm looking for Mike Brown just to have one. I tweeted about that. A couple people agreed. I'm just looking for one game or one possession or one play where he just kind of gets in the ref's face. Again, I know that Karl Towns does a lot of questionable things, but there was a lot of moments today where I felt as a coach he could have just gotten the ref's ear just a little bit. Again, you're never looking for your guys or your coach to put them in a position to be kicked out of the game or anything like that, or cause your team to lapse. But I'm looking just for somebody to have Towns back, and the best person right now could be Mike Brown. I saw him saying that he's trying to make some adjustments to get him into the offense, and he did come out and hit some threes, and he was playing a little. It's funny that we say that too, because he actually had the highest free throw attempts today. He had 7, and then anybody else had 5 or below that. But I'm just looking for Mike Brown just one day to just crash out for Towns and get in the ref's face for the whistle.
Crash out for Towns. I mean, look, Towns he's had it rough, man. It's crazy because after last year, he came to the Knicks. He didn't really have any practice time. He just came in hot, shooting, driving, and had one of his best years of his season. This year, not so much. But funny enough, before the game, Josh Hart was kind of asked about Karl-Anthony Towns a little bit, and the media people were asking everybody about Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yeah,
and Josh Hart was talking about how in general, before he was asked this question, in general, he was talking about how the team just needs to be play better defensively. You get a sense that that's been the theme of the Knicks behind the scenes, because everybody was talking, him and McCall was talking about defense in the interview. But when they asked him about Josh Hart, about Karl-Anthony Towns, he says, what do you think, what happens? What do you think about Karl? I forgot exactly how they worded the question. Something about Karl-Anthony Towns touches. And Josh Hart says, I don't want to hear much about his touches. I want to hear about him blocking shots.
Oh, we're getting to this.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
I just wanna get your thoughts on the Josh Hart comments, because there's a lot of people are kind of up in arms about the comments. Do you feel like he should have said it or he shouldn't have said it? I know we talked about people not having Karl Towns back. Do you feel like that's not having his back, or is it just like we telling the truth here?
Nuance alert. I'm about to drop some nuance. So
okay.
Anyone who prefers hot takes or partisan takes, be careful, because I'm about to have
hot takes.
I think both. Because he was asked a question about Towns, he did not interject and say, well, let me talk about Towns. He was asked specifically about him, and he gave his honest feedback, which means that's a sentiment that he holds dear to himself, that he thinks Cat complains too much and needs to focus on defense and not worry about touches or worry about points, of which I agree. I also think that Josh Hart is someone who can point fingers because he is the heart of the team, but also can be criticized because his defense has been super inconsistent, maybe the most inconsistent of any of his starters. People are either consistently bad, like Cat and Brunson, or consistently good, like Bridges and OG. They've had their dips, but overall, Hart has been the most inconsistent defensively. So I criticize Hart and be like, well, what about you? On the same token, is he lying? Absolutely not. I think Towns should STFU and focus on defense and not worry about how many threes he's getting or how many drives or the whistle. That's for Mike Brown to worry about, and the coaching staff and the ownership and the ways that they can advocate for him through the lead or in game by getting a tech. But the players got to hold each other accountable. Don't pull no punches. Be honest. Say to the media what you're saying to someone's face. I think Josh Hart is doing both.
I'm with Lee. I think if there's going to be a messenger, he was the perfect messenger. I'm not gonna lie as if I didn't feel it was bad timing, because I think right now Towns is probably at his lowest. The city's against him, fans are against him, refs are against him. I don't really know anybody who's in Towns's corner besides Jordan. So I felt he might. I don't know Towns personally. I felt like he could have taken that on top of every other criticism he's been taking. So that was my only down on it. But I think if there was anybody that was going to say something, you would have Josh Hart say it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because I was watching it. I was like, is Josh Hart like half joking, chuckling, or is he serious? I was trying like, Josh Hart just be saying sly stuff to joke sometimes. Yeah. So when he said it, I didn't know how to exactly take it. Like, I didn't know if it was like I'm serious, dead serious, but it was like a half truth, but I'm joking type of tone. I don't know. Josh Hart is, I don't know. He's an interesting character, man.
I one final coda. I will say that Josh Hart is doing everything that is asked of him this season. So I think it puts him in a position of leverage to say that, because Karl-Anthony Towns of the starting five is not doing what is asked of him, especially when you factor in the contract and the role, right? Karl-Anthony Towns is objectively the number 2 option. Hart is the 5th option. So Hart is doing everything asked of him as a 5th option at a $19 million salary. Cat is doing very little of what is being asked of him at a $54 million salary.
I have a quick question for you, Lee. Carl went out with foul trouble. Mikal was benched due to playing terribly, and all of a sudden OG erupts. You don't think that he could be a second option?
No, just because of his game. I think if his handle was tighter and he was more creative in the mid-range, like he had a push shot, he had a little bit more foot counters and footwork, then I would argue that maybe he could be like a Pascal Siakam. I just don't think his bat is that polished. I think he overly depends on off-ball cutting and catching for layups and dunks, really dunks, or three-point shots, catch and shoot three-point shots. I don't think his game is tailored to be a second option.
It's funny, when he first got here, I thought maybe. I was like, huh. Because remember, that's the time. This is before UB. That's when I started calling him Baby Kawhi. Because there was a time I was calling him Baby Kawhi because he was hitting people with these little mid-range jump shots when he first got to the Knicks. And I was like, oh, wait a minute now.
Like, yeah.
I was like, oh, he's looking a little 3-level to me. And then there was a time period where Jaylen Brunson went down for like 10 games or so, and he went off and he was averaging 28. And he was the main focus of the offense. So I feel like he's regressed with his handle this year. But he's shown flashes again. So it's like I don't know, man. I feel like he's a third option. I feel like I do agree with Lee. But if he became a second option legit, I'd be like, dope. Like I guess I wouldn't be totally shocked, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe that was real. That what we saw the year before. I wouldn't be totally shocked, but I wouldn't bet on it. Yeah, I think that's my best way of saying it.
If he moved up in the scouting report to the number 2 option, I think he would score even less than he does right now. Like, I think because of a lack of a handle, which the ball handling is what allows you to raise your 3-level game in so many different ways, right? Because you're creating space when you're in defender, you're able to use the ball to also get your defender off of you. You're able to use the ball to move laterally, left to right, north to south. I think they would scout him. They would limit his ability to put the ball on the floor, force turnovers, and he'd be regulated back to a 3-and-D corner shooter. So Bridges has that ability. Cat has that ability, but they come there with their own pros and cons too. But OG is just really efficient at 2 parts of a game, and it makes him either a really good third option or at the best 4th option in the NBA.
I don't totally disagree with you. You know what it is? I just seen flashes. I see. So it's like sometimes it's like, maybe do you just need more reps? Because like I said, remember like a couple of games ago, he was doing like a bunch of tweens and going to the hole. And I'm like, this is the best. I think I said it on the podcast. I said it on this program. I was like, when did freaking OG become freaking Kyrie Irving all of a sudden?
I've never seen it. If you could please send me those highlights.
Yeah, he was starting to do the between the leg and blow bys. I'm just like, where did this come from? And then he started last year. He started incorporating freaking Brunson's freaking sweep through move off the dribble, like the one dribble sweep through, layup, get and ones.
He has that now too. Deuce has that now too.
Yeah, Brunson teaching the whole crew his
teaching
tricks.
the wrong person. He should be teaching Carl Towns.
Carl Towns needs to learn Brunson's post up footwork.
Yeah.
That's what he really needs to do. That's crazy to say when you said I wish our center had Brunson's post up footwork. That's kind of wild. But if he had Brunson's post up footwork, he would be another player.
Imagine if Brunson was
He would be Embiid.
Sheesh.
Damn. He would be Embiid.
Right.
At least offensively. Sheesh. But yeah, I agree with you, Lee. But also, there's like a part of me that's like, maybe there's more. There's maybe. But I don't know. We'll probably.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't think. But we're not. I feel like we're not going to get the opportunity to really see it, unless there's a situation where we're forced to trade Cat, and we get ancillary players, not like an actual option. And then it's like, all right, we're gonna see what you got now.
Yeah.
Tween away, OG. Tween away. All right. All right, yo. That's all I got. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
I liked Hawk Porty's minutes today, but that was just very brief. I just liked his minutes today. I did.
Good point, because I wrote that down and I didn't talk about it.
I missed that. I didn't see him.
Go ahead, Billy. Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna pass you the ball.
His effort on the boards. It looks like we could have a little bit of a luxury with Towns going out and then Mitch getting a little break because we didn't miss any offensive boards with Hawk Porty on the court.
Yeah, I felt like he was really good on the boards. I felt like he had a brutal chase down block. Ooh, was it on Oubre? He murdered him. Oh my gosh. I feel like he really looked like he took the matchup seriously because he had to guard Embiid. And the thing too is Embiid is so slow and Porty has a lot of foot speed. And when you see them two play together, it's like noticeable how slow Embiid is versus Porty. So like he stood out today in his little bit of minutes when Cat was in foul trouble and Mitch had to sit. And he played a really, really good few minutes and impacted the game. So shout out to Porty. All right, yo. I think that's everything.
Yeah. Great game, by the way. I think.
Yeah, great game.
Been a little iffy, so.
Shoot, Knicks get the win, man. 2-game winning streak. Finally.
About to be 3.
It's actually the last time we had a 2-game winning streak was December 27th. So.
Sheesh, a month is that feels oof. So we needed it. Next game up is Sacramento Kings. We better smack them in the mouth early. I don't want to hear nothing. All right.
Then we have Toronto.
Then we have Toronto. Okay, and Toronto's kind of been
We got some good games. Yeah, coming up.
Toronto's been hot right now. And quickly was cooking people up.
I'm looking just to see Cat against Precious again. I would love to see how I think this is a good game for him to redeem himself, especially after fouling out today. So I know a lot of people, I never thought I'd see a game like I made that crazy takes the last Kings game. I've never seen a game where I thought that Precious would be better than Towns, and I never thought that this age DeMar would be playing better than Mikal. So I'm looking for Mikal and Towns to bounce back against DeMar and Precious.
They better, damn it. They better. And I think we'll be able to beat the Raptors, man. We already beat. I kind of feel like Tyrese.
But to their defense, they weren't fully healthy. So I want to see us to beat a healthy Raptors because we beat a healthy Sixers. So that's
true because they didn't have RJ, and RJ's been, But I feel like we got him. We beat the Michael Jordan of Manuel Quickley's today. So we should be fine versus the Raptors. All right, yo. You know what? Any bro picks today?
No, I don't have any.
All right. I feel you, man.
Me and Lee were watching the game yesterday.
I feel you.
The Nets versus the Celtics, and we really needed the Nets to come through and beat the Celtics last night. And they were up 2, I believe. Lee, if you could correct me, I don't remember how much they were, but they had free throws to put them up by 4 or 5, and they wind up missing the free throw. Joe calls a timeout, gets Hugo into the game. The Nets leave him wide open for a corner, wide open. Like he couldn't get it. It was like he was in a 3-point contest. Wide open to tie the game to end up losing the game. Like, bruh, you guys had the game right there in your hands and you just fumbled it. And I know the Nets don't mess with us, but we really needed you to come through for the city, man. Come on.
Can't do anything right. Oh, I feel you. Definitely bro pick for the Nets.
I'll say this. I have a new pick. I'm very grateful for y'all. Very grateful I have the podcast. I can hop on, commiserate, whether it's a win, whether it's a loss. I can figure it out objectively and logically and, feel better about the outcome of a team. Helps me also to just kind of get my frustrations out about the state of the world. And just I talk to two of my favorite people. Two people who are rational, but I also know, share a lot of the same sentiments that I do. We might not agree on everything, but I think we agree on the most important things. So it's just nice to have people that I really care about and treasure to be able to chop it up, even while the world outside is burning, man. I just hope the Democrats find their balls, which I don't have much faith in because they're just so feckless. And they do something to really try to turn around what's happening in this country with ICE and the unchecked police state that we now live in and all the hypocrisy that we see from the right that lauded someone like Kyle Rittenhouse to go down there with a gun and murder somebody. I mean, they cheered him on for his Second Amendments, and the same thing happens here. And they're either quiet or they're saying that ICE was in the right. It's like, do y'all stand on truth and justice on anything? But every single MAGA person, it's sad too, man. It's people I love in my life. It's like some of my best friends. It's my father. I won't even talk politics because they're either too embarrassed or shameful of what they stand for and have stood behind, or they just know that they have a take that is absolutely demented and they're too ashamed to say it. So I don't know what to do. The people who I'm supposed to be looking up to for masculine leadership and advice in my life are just absent or incapable of giving it. So, I just glad to have my friends, glad to have my sanity, try and do things that like lift me up. Had a long conversation with my mom today, hung out with my animals, watched the Knicks, got to see a win. Now I'm just focused on the little things, get me through the day-to-day of living in these United States of KKK America. It's awful.
I second that, man. I second that. It's I don't know. It's like I'm numb to it. You hear me. I'm just freaking numb to it at this point because it's like I feel like the world's been burning for freaking months already. I think everybody else is starting to feel it because everybody else is starting to feel it because it's starting to affect non-minorities.
That's true.
But like for me, like the world's been burning since November. So when now everybody else is, the world is burning. I was like, oh, it's happening to y'all, so y'all care now. Okay. Like that's the way I feel. I guess, and it's like I feel sad for the world. I feel sad for the state of the U.S. right now. Like they're shooting white people now and treating them like black people. It's kind of weird to see people. Like I'm used to seeing us getting shot and then saying the cell phone's a gun. I'm used to that to happen to us. Like I've been I've been taught growing up how to move around police so it doesn't happen to me. You know what I'm saying? But now I feel like there's gonna be white people having to teach their kids that, and that's a wake-up call for them. So they're gonna have to get used to what it's been like for me for 40 years. And hopefully, I know all this sucks right now, but I really hope that by the end of this, there's growth from everybody, and then empathy from everybody who's been dealing with this longer than 2 months.
It's been a very big revelation for me. I am not politically identifiable with the left or the right. The right hates me as much as the left does. I tend to piss everybody off, which is okay. But I always have roasted the blue-haired white chits with nose rings, basically the female version of me that would be shrieking harpies over everything and complain about, white supremacy or patriarchy. They're actually the ones out in the street that get their faces shot in by ICE. It's the libertarian civil liberty cuts that are just staying at home and being keyboard warriors, not actually out in the street doing anything or causing any kind of scene or fighting back or protecting the communities with guns. They're the ones who are starting to take the side of ICE. It's really depressing. It showed a lot in this country about who's willing to put up with the fight when it's actually a fight and who just wants to talk about fight through MAGA memes.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping somebody finds their spine because I can't see the right winning, but this next round of elections. But I hope the left finds their spine and not placate to the middle like they usually do when they get in. But we'll see what happens.
Indeed, we will.
You see what happens. All right, yo. We still won though, man. We still won 2-game winning streak. We going to the Sacramento, and we gonna lay some hands on them and then go beat the Raptors and get on the road, man. Because I really do like the way this team's been playing. I do like the habits that we've been playing with, and hopefully we can take that into the next game. All right, yo. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah. Lee, let them know they can find you, man.
At Twitter _Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. Check out my darting essay from last week. Something very pertinent right now about how Minnesota should not have played, and they just postponed the game. I think they should actually cancel it until it's rectified and the violence is held to account. But people be people, and so this is America in the year 2026. But yeah, find me, bring the smoke. If you want to argue, you want to debate, I'm there. You know where to find me.
Yeah, I actually feel like they might have had to, because there was like from what I was reading, it's like a protest. Like no one's going to work.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything. So it's like, if no one's going to work, how can you even open an arena? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they were kind of forced to move the game just because of the protest that's happening in Minneapolis. B, let them know they can find you.
Sporty Spice, Twitter, but not there. Here at KOT. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Appreciate everybody. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and Knick of Time Show on Facebook as well. Also, I got a question for you guys too, off topic. If I was to bring a KOT app that like has do you guys remember Tic Tac Toe?
Yeah.
If I was to bring that as an app for y'all to play, would y'all be interested in that?
I'd be interested because I don't even know what you're talking about. So I
play it every day. If you still have to be competitive at, of course.
Okay. I want to see what the chat says. I'm trying to keep the temperature.
What exactly? Can you give me a little bit of a description? Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, there is something called Tic Tac Toe. Mm-hmm. There's actually, if you go to our playlist, there's a Tic Tac Toe playlist. Okay. Where we did a few of those games already.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Thinking about.
Oh yeah, that was before B when that came out.
That was before B. Yeah, I'm thinking about. I've been doing some things this weekend. All right, I'm doing some things, so we'll see how this goes. All right, yo, that's the show.
Revenge on Sacramento next, baby.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's the show, yo. Thank you guys for watching. And
back in third place, by the way. Back in third place.
We back in third place. Okay. Let's get it. Let's get back to second, damn it. All right. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
Mercer here in these Knick streets. That's the show. We out of here. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.